Megan?
Hey, Coach. We're ready when you are.
Okay. I want to congratulate Loyola Marymount, Coach Stan Johnson. They got a really nice team, resilient team. When they were down, they didn't give up. They kept fighting. They made some big time shots. Cam Shelton and Chance Stevens had great games for them. Shelton's really good off the dribble. And obviously Stevens could really shoot it as he made 7 out of 10 threes. So they got a really nice club and they deserve to win. It's inexcusable for us not to close out the game in regulation up 8 and win the game. With 1:42 left, we were up 65-80, 57 coming down in transition, and Ty turns it over. Now he got fouled. The guy body checked him, but they didn't call it. And so that started a run of basically 3 unforced turnovers where we didn't even have to shoot the ball. We just gave it to them. 2 missed rebounds where we had the chance to get 1 rebound, didn't get it. They took it out, threw it in, moved it around, and made a 3. Then after one of our turnovers, we had a chance to get the rebound, and we just didn't get it. And then they put it in a 2. We missed 2 free throws that we just got to make one to put us ahead. Then we gave up 2 threes in the last minute instead of forcing them to drive. Knowing the situation is what it is, you just make them put it on the floor. They made 8 threes in the first half. I don't think they had made a 3 up until that point in the second half, and they made 2 big ones there late, but that's just poor recognition on our part. Same thing in overtime. We finally got the lead back, put it in Cam's hands. The guy's guarding him's got 4 fouls. He just had taken it to the basket and scored. Instead, dribbles it down into the corner and dribbles it off his foot. Unforced turnover, and then down they come, and we lose sight of the best shooter on the court, and he makes a 3, and that's the ball game. And so it's our fault and my fault, and my job is to get our team to play the right way at the end of the game. Obviously, I didn't do that, and so I'm going to have to go back and look at it and see where we can fix it. But it's inexcusable, and it's probably one of the worst losses I think I've ever had as a head coach at the end of the game. Just not being able to finish the game. It's very disappointing.
Steve, between the turnovers and the missed opportunities for rebounds, the most frustrating aspect of this was just the collapse down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I just said it. I mean, there's no reason for it. It's not like they forced us to turn the ball over. I've already watched it. And I watched it live. We just mishandled the basketball. It's inexcusable. You know, it's almost like kind of unexplainable, to be honest. Now, one of them, when he was driving it with about a minute, 42 to go, he got fouled. The guy had blatantly hip checked him, and he went out of bounds and gave him the ball. That was a terrible call. But you still got to bounce back from that, you know, and the other 2 were just inexcusable. And then, you know, again, if we still get the rebound, they don't make a 3, they don't make a 2. We just got to get it's right in our hands. And so that's hard to swallow. And then we still just got to make 1 free throw out of 2, and we win the game. And then it's still a 3-point game. We don't give up 3 there. We just make them drive. You just go up there and get up on them and make them drive. You can't even get the shot off. We just stood back there and let them make a 3. And so, you know, we don't deserve to win.
Ben, did you have a question for Coach?
Yeah, Coach. And this one, it just felt like the little things added up a lot, especially at the end of the game. 12-19 from the free throw line, obviously, struggles with turnovers. How important is it to, correct those little things moving forward and, especially with ACC play coming up?
Well, little things are big things, and they bite you and they end up getting you, and that's what happened tonight. And yeah, we didn't shoot free throws well. Defensively, we were pretty good the whole game. We put too much pressure. Our offense was not good, and we got it going a little bit there. We scored enough to win. Our turnovers killed our defense. We had 18 turnovers, and I'm telling you, of those 18, I don't know the total, but I can remember that 4 of them at least were unforced, at least. Or we just mishandled, we just dribbled the ball and let it get away from us. Can't, I mean, come on, can't do that. And so, yeah, we're gonna have to fix those.
Hey, Steve, how painful is it that like a couple of the guys that really helped you out so much during the game, guys like Ty Appleby, who gutted out a tough game, had those turnovers down the stretch, and Matthew Marsh, who kind of had a breakout game, missed the bunny there at the end and missed the 2 free throws. Just how painful are those circumstances?
That's part of you got to finish the game, finish the possession, and yeah, it was, Matt had a nice game, but there was a couple situations where he didn't produce, and he has to produce in those situations. And so, he'll learn from it. He's young, and he'll hopefully he'll come back from that. But Ty's a 5th-year senior, and can't mishandle the ball like that. It's not, it's just not acceptable. And it hurt us. It hurt us. And we didn't even need to really shoot the ball. We could have just ran the clock, and we just couldn't even do that. So I don't really have an explanation for that other than it's just inexcusable to turn the ball over in a situation where you're really not even being pressured.
Steve, I know I'm not trying to make excuses for him, and I know you won't, but what was Ty dealing with? They showed him on the bench and looked like he was taking a pill or something like that.
I mean, I think he got hit pretty hard, one of those fouls. He probably fell down, but I don't know the exact answer to that. Davian didn't practice yesterday, and Davian's been hurt for a while, and took a shot this morning in his back to try to play, but he just couldn't go, and so that's why he wasn't out there. He tried to go, but he just couldn't do it. So I don't know what his situation will be, but I'm sure Ty's beat up because he plays hard, and he gets knocked around a lot, but I'm sure he's probably sore, but he's a tough kid. And listen, he's not trying to turn the ball over on purpose. I'm not saying that. It's just one of those things. You just can't have it and can't have that happen, especially when, we want the ball in his hands. And because he's a great free throw shooter. Now, he didn't shoot him great today, but I would want him on the line late in the game. And that's same thing with, at the last play in the overtime, we got to drive them. That's what we wanted. They chased over the top. We drove it to the basket, and then we just can't even get up a shot to get fouled, and so, there's a lot of things that we've obviously got to clean up because the schedule is going to get harder and harder.
Steve, did you give any consideration at all to fouling late in regulation up 3 on that final possession for them?
Well, I think hindsight's always the easiest, and there's 13 seconds left in the game. Matt misses the second one. They go down. I'm not sure what they're going to do. I can't call timeout. And so, hindsight being what it is, you might yell red, they're late, but, we had them right where we wanted them. That guy's not a great 3-point shooter. That was the first one he made all game. You just don't let him do that. I mean, it's just, we talk about those things over and over. And that was the biggest problem at halftime. It really wasn't scheme. It was understanding the scouting report, understanding the strengths and weaknesses of who you're guarding, and not closing out on a guy that's a driver like he's a shooter, and not letting the shooter just stand there and shoot horse shots. And that's a situation there where they knew, hey, we're up 3. We can't give up a 3. Just make him drive it. Get up on him. So, yeah, I mean, I'll beat myself up over that. I'm sure we could have called red, but we had them right. Well, they didn't have anything. They just threw up a shot. And there's no way he should have been able to get that off. He should have been up there tighter on him. So he had to drive it around him to 10-2, which wouldn't have hurt us.
Steve, the start of the game looked great, and then looked like when Stevens got hot, it kind of threw you guys out of rhythm, and it looked like some things started getting pressed. Did you see it the same way?
Again, I think it was a scouting report. I think we did a really poor job in the first half of not taking away their strengths. And to their credit, that's what they did to Georgetown. They got on that run there where they were down and they got up, and then they never looked back. But to our credit, we came back in the second half and popped them good, you know, and we stayed resilient. I really didn't have any problem with the way we defended. We were pretty good defensively. They made a couple tough threes, yeah, and I'm mad that we shouldn't have made them drive it. But the reality is our offense was terrible when it comes to handling the ball. And we had the lead. It's inexcusable not to win that game. And it was more our offense really than our defense.
All right, Coach, I think that's all we're going to have.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Megan.
Okay, see y'all soon.